Good morning. It's Friday, January 23rd. National Pie Day on a Friday. It rhymed. And now, the news. Like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a woman with a torch whose flame is the imprisoned lighting, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From beacon hand glows worldwide welcome, and her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she, with silent lips. Give me, your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. This is a sonnet called the New Colossus, and as you likely know, a piece of it is on the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore, send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. In that sonnet, the giant of Greek fame that the author is referring to is the Colossus of Rhodes. That is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and it was built to commemorate a military victory. So in this sonnet, the author, Emma Lazarus, a lady, if you can believe it, is saying that we are not meant to conquer by military defeat other nations. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, but instead stand on the shores to guide other people to us, to safe harbor, with the light of a statue of liberty. A mighty woman with her torch, and her name will be the Mother of Exiles. The mother, the welcomer, the protector and nurturer of any and all who have been forced to leave behind their old lives, their old countries. Come to us, we will welcome you. I lift my lamp beside the golden door to better light your path so that you will better be able to find your way to us. That is who we are supposed to be. That is the myth that we tell ourselves we are. It's been a really heavy week of news, and so I don't want to do a normal episode. I started with a sonnet. That's how you know it's not going to be a normal episode. Instead, I want to tell you about a little boy named Liam. Liam is 5. Liam is in preschool. On Tuesday, as Liam was coming home from preschool with his dad, ICE agents surrounded the car that his dad was driving and tried to detain his dad. His dad ran away from the ICE agents, and before you say anything about that, I want you to think about what you might do. These thugs, these brown shirts, are just snatching people left and right based on a paper bag test, essentially. And they are violent and they are scary. And they were at home. And the dad knew that someone else was home also. And I can't be in that man's head. I'm just saying I'm not judging him for his actions. He ran, and so ICE grabbed Liam and made him knock on his own door to see if anyone else was there. They claim that they were doing it to see if anyone would take care of Liam. That's a lie, and I'll tell you why it was in a second. Instead, what they were doing was using a 5-year-old boy, grabbing Liam by his Spiderman backpack. Liam in his little blue rabbit snowcap to keep his little preschool ears warm, using Liam to coerce others in the home out. Liam's brown. Surely there are more brown people in the home that they can grab also. How do we know that it is a lie? That they were just like, oh no, we want to make sure that somebody can take care of this kid. Because a witness who works at the school said that there were people telling those ICE officials that Liam's mom could take him. Yeah, another parent. Also, someone pointed out that there were officials from the school there, and those officials could have taken Liam. Instead, they kidnapped this 5-year-old boy. ICE kidnapped Liam. Oh no, Kim, you don't understand. It's because they didn't come here the right way. You gotta 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 come here. They did. They did. They came in here through an official port of entry. Once they did so, through an official port of entry, they used the CBP-1 app. That's the one that stupid Christy Gnome, who shot her own puppy, that's neither here nor there. It's not a part of this story, but it's a reminder that that's a part of her character. She keeps telling people to use that app. File for asylum. That's what they did. They came in through the right way. They had no deportation orders at the time of this. But they were brown. That's it. So don't even try, no. They kidnapped Liam and frankly adult-napped the dad. Never mind the fact that being here without citizenship is the same amount of a crime as jaywalking. So just imagine everything that's happening right now being like, and you were jaywalking, so we gotta get you. I'm not saying that if the dad was here undocumented, that any of this would be acceptable. I'm just saying, for all these morons that are like, oh, come here the right way, they did. They just, were brown while doing it. This kidnapping of young Liam, his little bunny Snowcap, Spiderman backpack, that happened in Minnesota. They are being held in a South Texas family detention center. Minnesota to Texas. ICE said that they took Liam because no one else could. Witnesses say there were so many people there volunteering to help. They wanted to help to take Liam. Instead, they took him out of state, Minnesota to Texas. The place that Liam and his father are being held is 486 miles from an ICE center in El Paso, Texas. Why am I now pivoting to El Paso? Because on January 3rd, a 55-year-old man named Geraldo Lunas Campos, an immigrant from Cuba, died in that ICE facility. And yesterday, on Thursday, that death was ruled a homicide. Asphyxia due to neck and torso compression. He is the third person to die in that facility. Here is a statement from DHS, quote, Lunas became disruptive while in line for medication and refused to return to his assigned dorm. He was subsequently placed in segregation. While in segregation, staff observed him in distress and contacted on-set medical personnel for assistance, end quote. Let's parse some language here. First part, Lunas became disruptive while in line for medication and refused to return to his assigned dorm. If he had been in any way violent, they would have said it. He perhaps mouthed off. He perhaps showed some non-compliance when it came to getting back in his dorm, but that language says absolutely nothing, not anything at all, about being a physical threat in any way. Nothing. So we've got he was no physical threat. Following that, we've got, quote, he was subsequently placed in segregation. That means that he was moved into isolation. This is a process that usually requires multiple officers. And then asphyxia due to neck and torso compression. This means that external force was applied to his body, specifically the neck, chest, or upper body, during which time his lungs were restricted, meaning he could not breathe sufficiently, leading to oxygen deprivation and ultimately death. Given all of that, a pretty clear picture gets painted of a man who was not violent, but perhaps aggravated a guard. That guard went to put him back in his dorm, and he, it sounds like, possibly refused. At that point, multiple guards probably threw him to the ground. That's where the physical trauma likely occurred. He was in medical distress, literally dying, when they threw him into segregation. At some point after that, it is unclear when, at some point, someone then called for medical help. Again, this is the third homicide at this facility. At this facility. There is an ICE federal tracker, but it is very hard to track people. I want you to keep in mind that Liam, the 5-year-old that ICE kidnapped, was taken from Minneapolis down to Texas. In Alligator Alcatraz, out of the 1,800 or so people there, about 1,200 are now untraceable because this ICE federal tracker is so hard to actually track. So when I tell you that at this one facility, we are aware that that there have been 3 homicides at this one facility, I just think that we don't do conspiracy theory, but we don't, also do pretending as if. It's impossible to think that these are the only 3 incidents. We're talking about 2/3 of people that went to Alligator Alcatraz. That's a name they invented, and then they sold merch for that place. That's a place that Donald Trump, when they were like, hey, there's a lot of alligators here, and Donald Trump was like, yeah, we're just going to teach the people there to run away from the alligators. Or maybe not. Alligator Alcatraz has a ton of human rights violations, and they're fine with that. 2/3 of people there are currently untraceable thanks to this federal ICE tracing situation that they have. I'm sure they're right on top of it, Rose. It's impossible to think that these are the only 3 violations happening. America was never America to me. Emma Lazarus is the new Colossus, called America the Colossus. And she told the world who we were and who we were promising to be. And in 1935, Langston Hughes answered her with, "Let America be America." He tells her, "We came here and this is what happened." Quote, "I am the poor white fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crushing the weak." He's saying, I came here because you told me. You promised me that this beautiful country, you, the mother of exiles, would welcome me. That you wanted me. And this is what it really is like. Quote, "The land that never has been and yet must be. The land where every man is free." It's a reminder, and yet must be. Make America Great Again is like the dumbest slogan possible, which makes sense because he is the dumbest president that we have ever had. But it is also incredibly flawed because it acts as if America has hit its peak. America has had some great moments, to be sure, but to say again sort of implies that there is some moment of greatness to which we should return, not to which we should seek. But America has not reached its full potential. Patriotism looks different for everyone, and for me, it is consistently requiring the best from this country that I do, God help me, love deeply. And so every day I wake up heartbroken by it and demanding better of it. Our best days are ahead of us. They must be, because they are not behind us. Because an America that does not include everyone is not the best version of us. And so we have not seen the best version of this country yet. But still, the new Colossus stands, with her light on. Dimmed, yes. Flickering, certainly. On, undeniably. Because there is a 5-year-old boy in a blue rabbit snowcap, little Spiderman backpack, that the government kidnapped. And I understand how you feel. But if we give up now, the kidnappers win. And Liam loses. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. I'm proud of you.